Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. Welcome back. We are continuing our studies of the Sefer Bilvavim Mishkan Evneh. We are on the first chapter, part number 6, part Vav. And he writes as follows, Ma be'emet tachlit ha'adam b'olamo. So what in truth is really man's purpose on earth? He answers this question with another question. Tachlit ha'adam hu davar yadua velo yadua. It is something that is well known, and at the same time it's something that is not well known. Yadua, it's known mipenei she'adam kara al kach, shama al kach. It's known because a person reads about it, and he hears about it, and he experiences it. Ulam be'emet hi enena yodua, but in reality, it's not something that's known. Kilu be'emet ha'adam haya yodea ota betzura nechona. Because if man actually knew it in a proper way, then ve'aya mechubal ladvarim uchubal leidad sheyodea, and at the same time he would be attached to all this information. Then basically his entire life would change. He wouldn't be living the life that he has now, the way he thinks, the way he goes about things. Everything about him would change. His priorities, so on and so forth. If man would apply the entire weight of his spiritual energy to this idea, and as a result, he would live a life totally committed to truth. He would take a paper and a pen, and record for himself the purpose of life. And not just enough to record it, but he carries with him in his pocket, and he would, every quarter of an hour, he would take it out of his pocket, look at it, internalize it, so that this fact will not be forgotten and he will live by it. So again, now that we know how important this is, that a person will carry it with him at all times, and if he knew how much it was, he would look at it constantly and make himself aware of it. So again, he asks, what is indeed man's purpose in life? It is known, the famous words of the Mesilat Yesharim in the first chapter. Shekatav, he writes the following: Be'emet ki hashelemut hamiti hu rak hadevekut bo yitbarach shemo. That true perfection is devekut to Hashem, the idea of clinging to God and attaching ourselves to Him. Vehu ma shekatuv David HaMelech alav shalom. This is what David HaMelech writes in Sefer Te'ilim, chapter 73. Ba'ani kirvat Elohim litov. As for me, what I consider to be good is kirvat Elohim, is being close to God. Kelomar, im adam rotze ladat mahu adam shalem. If a person wants to know what exactly is, what makes a person fulfilled, ma David HaMelech hevin shetov bishvilo, what David HaMelech understood that is good for him, that must be the answer. He needs to consider what David HaMelech thought that was good for him. Who are we to argue with David HaMelech? If it's good for King David, one of the great Jewish personalities of all time, then all the more so, it should be perfect for us. Va'ani kirvat Elohim litov. That is what is good for me, the closeness to Hashem. Shulhan shavur, af adam eno me'onin bo. A broken table, nobody wants. Kiseh shavur, af adam eno me'onin bo. As well as a broken chair, nobody wants. Mita shevura, a broken bed, af adam eno rotze lishon alea. Nobody really wants to sleep on a broken bed. Lanumba et shinato, because by doing so, what will happen? How can you sleep on something like that? Kal vachomer ben beno shel kal vachomer. All the more so. She'af adam b'pnimiyut nafsho eno rotze liot adam shavu. Nobody wants to be a broken person. If you're not interested in a broken vessel, such as a table, chair, or bed, why would you want yourself to be broken? El adam shalem. We want to be complete. Yesh bechina shel lev nishbar. There's a concept of a broken heart, but he writes over here that's not relevant to this discussion. Maze Yehudi Shalem, he asks. What is a complete Jew? Shelo chaselo yadayim, a guy that is not missing any hands. Shelo chaselo raglayim, he's not missing any feet. Zohi shlemut chitzonit, shlemut gufanit. That's a physical completion. You have your eyesight, you have your hands, you have your feet. Everything seems to be working fine. Baruch Hashem. We have to be thankful for that, no question. But it's a physical completeness. Ulam shlemut amitit. But what fulfills a person, the true fulfillment, is shlemut nafshit. Is that with regards to the soul. Shlemut primit. The inner completion. Hi shlemut shel kirvat Hashem. That is the shlemut of attachment to God. Adam shekarov l'Hashem. A man that is close to God. Ukma shekatuv Ramchal, what the Ramchal writes, ube'emet, ki hashlemut ha'amiti, the true completion, shlemut shel kol yachid ve'yachid delo yotze min haklal gamur, u'adevekut bo yiparach shemo. There is nothing more true. The only true perfection, the only true completion of every single person, without exception, is devekut l'Hashem. Vezulat zeh, ukma shekatuv sham, וזולת זה, מה שיחשבו בני אדם לטוב, אינו אלא הבל ושב נטעה. And anything else that a person may consider to be good, and may lead him to do good, or may lead him to be a perfect human being, to perfection, is all hevel v'shav. It's vanity. It's deception. He is mistaken. In fact, he's empty. זה כל מה שיש ליהודי באמת בחיים. This is the only thing that a Jewish person has in his life, kirvat Hashem udvekut b'Hashem, the closeness of God, being attached to Him. Kol mahuto shel Yehudi ze liot karov l'Hashem udvedavuk Hashem. Our entire essence is for that purpose. Velo rak ba'olam haba tachlit ha'adam liot davuk beborei yitbarach shemo. It's not just for the next world. A lot of people think, okay, it's just for the necht world. When I get to olam haba, that's when I'm going to be close to God. That's when I'm going to be close to the tzaddikim. El afkan ba'olam hazeh, here in this world. Avodat ha'adam v'tachlito liot davuk beborei yitbarach shemo. Man's purpose, man's work, is to be close and attached to God. Kol rega v'rega she'adam eno davuk beborei yitbarach shemo. Every moment that he's not, berega hazehu eno adam shalem. Then you're not complete. You are missing something. You are missing an element that is crucial to your spiritual survival. Albeit you are totally complete in all your limbs, but your spiritual life is missing. Hu nechsar min hashlemut amitit. He is missing that completeness, that perfection. Sheyad v'kut bo yiparach shemo. Moving on to part 8, he says, Adam amiti, a sincere person, sheshamat hadevarim v'kibel otam benafsho betzura amitit, who listens to this and accepts it and realizes that it's true, hu tzarich lakachat et divrei Ramchal halalu. He needs to take these words of Rav Moshe Chaim Luzzatto from Mesilat Yesharim that we quoted, lichtov otam, to write them al daf, on a piece of paper, ulhaniach zot bekiso ve'echat lereva sha'a le'erech, umotzi et hadaf mikiso mitponen bo hetev, put it in his pocket and take it out every quarter hour. Look at it, understand it, internalize it. ומזכיר לעצמו עוד פעם ועוד פעם מה הסיבה שלמענה אני חי כאן, מה תכלית חיי. And every single time that he looks at it, he needs to remind himself, what's the reason why he's alive? What's the reason why he's put in this world? What is the purpose to him living? To attach himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. הוא קורא את הדברים עוד פעם ועוד פעם ועוד פעם עד אשר הדברים הללו חיים לנגד עיניו, מימיהם האלה לא צריך להסתכל בדף. He should look at it and remind himself so often over and over and over again, so that it becomes a part of him, that he knows that this idea is facing him and staring at him constantly without even having to look at the paper. אלא מתוך הכרת הנפש הברורה בתכלית החיים, but rather living through this clear conviction of the purpose of life, then החיפוש המתמיד ליישם את הדברים, he will seek ways to apply it, and that becomes his purpose. This is what his goal is. כמה זמן ביום שאדם זוכר את תכלית חייו, whenever a person, the time which a person recalls his purpose of life, זהו הזמן שהוא באמת חי. This is what really makes him alive. שאר הזמן שהוא עסוק בשאר דברים, the other time where you're not thinking of that, where you're buying and selling, you're in the market, you're driving, you're having fun, שהוא עסוק בשאר דברים, ללא זכירת הבורא יתברך, and you're not thinking and recalling the greatness of Hashem, זהו דימוי של מיתה. He says this is like similar to being dead. It's a spiritual death, obviously. ואדם נצרך לתחיית המתים בכל עת ובכל שעה. And because of that, you need תחיית המתים. I need a resurrection. I need to be revived spiritually. When you are having fun, although it's good to have fun, but spiritually, you're not alive. There's no connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, unless somehow you make that moment and that time that you're having fun somehow increasing your awareness of Hashem and connection to Hashem. But most people don't go through that, so therefore they're like spiritually dead. So you need a revival. You need a techiyat hametim. Techiyeh shehu yiskor madua chai, to remember why he's alive. U'ma tachlito kan ba'olam hazeh, and why he's here. Gam b'sha'ah she'adam mekayem mitzvot. Not only that, even when a person is fulfilling mitzvot, alav liskor shetachlit hamitzvot milashon tzuta k'mo shekatuv b'sefrarim hakedoshim. The idea here is that even when a person fulfills a mitzvot, he needs to understand that the essence of a mitzvah lies at the connection to the root of the mitzvah. We call this tzavta, companionship. It's an idea in the Sfarim HaKedoshim. Kelomar, shekol tachlit hamitzvot hi liot tzavat labore. The whole purpose of a mitzvah, the ultimate purpose of mitzvot, is to be a companion, a partner to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Liot karov davuk labore, to be close and attached to him. Lule zot nechsar ikar pnimiyut mahut hamitzvah ve'arei zeh keguf belo neshama. Without that understanding and realization, then your whole major essence of the mitzvah is lacking. It's like a body, belo neshama, without a soul. Kucha berichu ve'oraita ve'Yisrael hadhu. The Zohar writes that Hashem and the Torah and Israel are one. Kelomar, as if to say, she'atorah limuda ve'kiyum mitzvotea tzrichim liot b'ma'alach shel had. The Torah, the learning of it, and the fulfillment of the mitzvot, lishmor ve'la'asot, lilmod v'lamed, lishmor ve'la'asot, must be kept in a manner that brings unity, shel had, one, b'mahalach she'adam davuk b'torah u'b'boreh, in a way that enables man to connect and attach himself to his Creator. V'zeh tachlit chayav devekut b'torah u'b'kadosh baruch hu. This is the purpose of one's life. Attachment to the Torah and to God. We'll continue next time.